Përshëndetje, ky është Speakeasy Podcast. Kam derin të kem të ftuar kandidatin për kongres të distriktit të 10, shokun tim, edhe pjesëtar i komunitetit ton, Robert Lulgjuraj. Robert, mirë se erdhe.
Faleminderit, Edvin. Jam kënaqur me folën me ty sonde. Faleminderit, Gzur. Congratulations on your podcast, and I'm honored. I really am. I'm honored to be your first guest, and God bless you, and I hope your podcast does well, and you're in the 10th district, so I'm going to represent you and your podcast very well in Washington, D.C.
Për arsye të distriktit në cilën Roberti garon, edhe për arsye edhe të audiencës tonë, dhe për arsye edhe të lehtësisë në komunikim, intervistën do e bëjmë në gjuhën angleze. Robert, can you give us a biography for our viewers, who you are, what's your education? Because I know you personally, so give us a little intro.
Okay. My dad's family's from Siamala, and my mom's family's from Kidmend. Mom's family came to New York, lived there, worked there. My cousins are all from New York, and then on my dad's side, they're here in Michigan. So my grandfather came with both grandparents, right? They suffered. So one was in Albania, one was in Mudsi, suffered under communism, religious persecution, lack of economic opportunities. So like a lot of other Albanians that came here, they wanted freedom, they wanted liberty in America. They came, my grandfather worked on the line at Chrysler, my grandmother worked in restaurants, my parents are in the service industry, so these people work very hard, they're humble, they're good people, they raised me and my siblings and my family right. And they allowed me to be on the path of success that I am on now. So I grew up in Sterling Heights, born and raised, still live there. And this is within the 10th district, Sterling Heights. Went to public school. After public school, they wanted a Catholic high school education for me. So my parents made a commitment to sacrifice to send me and my siblings to Catholic school. I went to Brother Rice. My brother went to Brother Rice. My sister went to the all-girls school next door, Marion. And right now, my siblings, my brother is a teacher in Florida. They went to Notre Dame. So did my sister as well. And she's a teacher down in Texas. So they teach at Catholic schools and they want to give back. And so do I. We're a very service-oriented family. We like to help people, right? We want to use our skills to better society. So after Brother Rice, I went to college in Indiana, Edvin, Holy Cross College at Notre Dame. Only Albanian at that time that was there. Graduated. But I graduated as a student body president, so I really care about the students and giving back and being a voice for others. Came back home and joined the Macomb County Republican Party and learned how campaigns work. I volunteered, I made phone calls, I knocked doors, I learned, met a lot of politicians, met a lot of people in office, and then saw how campaigns are run efficiently, and then said, okay, one day I'd like to give back to my community and run for office and make my family and my community proud. And then after I volunteered at the Republican Party, I actually went to law school. I wanted to help people again. So I went to Detroit Mercy Law School in downtown, graduated, became a prosecutor, first Albanian-American attorney at the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. Had an American flag and an Albanian flag in my office, very proud of that. And prosecuted a lot of cases, prosecuted a lot of violent people. And so now I left my job, gave up a pension, and now I'm really proud to be running for U.S. Congress in my hometown, in my home district. And I'm an Albanian candidate. We're going to try to make history. We'd be the first full-blooded Albanian American in the halls of Congress.
When we seen you about 2 months ago, you were the only Republican candidate running for the primaries. Where is your... I know that through activities that we have followed you, you were one of the few probably in the country that raised that much money in a very short period of time. Where is your campaign right now, Robert?
Yeah, thank you, Edvin. Yeah, we still need more money. So, we did really well that first quarter, but we need to sustain that. And so you got to do it quarter after quarter after quarter. Getting to Congress costs millions of dollars, Edvin. It's very expensive, unfortunately. So you never stop fundraising. But, my money doesn't come from PACs. It doesn't come from special interests. I don't have some, big wealthy conglomerate behind me. My money comes from people that live in this district, my family, my friends, the Albanian community, and a lot of small business owners in this district. So I'm very proud. And there was an article that came out actually not too long ago and here in the Detroit Free Press of compared relative to all the other candidates. A lot of people get their money from out of state. My money comes from majority over 90% just from the state of Michigan. So we are going to fundraise outside the state. I have some family and friends that live in New York and relatives in other states, but it comes from painters. It comes from small business owners. It comes from nurses. It comes from people that work in the restaurant industry. These are the people that are propping up this campaign. So I'm so proud of them, and I'm never going to forget them. And that's who we need to fight for, Edvin, when we get to Congress. The forgotten Americans, the blue-collar Americans of this country.
So can you say that you're the front runner for the primaries?
I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, I believe we are the front runner. And like you said, last quarter, we raised the most amount of money in one quarter for this race and this seat currently. We broke the record for first-time Republican candidate in America. We out-fundraised my Democrat counterparts. Am I going to have just to answer your question more directly, Edvin, am I going to have several people on the ballot? Yes, right? It's America. Anyone can sign themselves up to run for Congress, but some of the people running in the primary are not raising a lot of money. And so some people just run because they want to see their name on the ballot. I'm running to win. So I'm the only person that's born and bred in this district. I'm the only person that was raised in this district, that continues to live in this district, and I'm never going to leave this seat. I have some opponents that have come from out of state to run in this seat. I have some opponents that are leaving a neighboring county to come into the seat. And so these people, it's actually frankly disgusting that people do this, but they want, it's not about service to them. It's not about what's best for the community. It's not about having, I think if you want to represent an area, you should live in that area. You should be people's neighbor. You should be accountable to the people that you grew up in, right? And so some of these people want just to run for their own political gain. And so my message to them is stay where you're at, stay where you were born and raised. This is our community. This is our district. And we want somebody from this area and the hometown team representing us. And so, yeah, we're leading. We have the most endorsements. We have the most grassroots support. Right now, we're fundraising the most. We have to continue that. And we're just going to push forward, and we're going to beat anyone that's in our way because we are the best candidate. We have the best heart and passion, and we really care about service.
So coming back to that point, I seen your campaign. You're a very a pro-Trump supporter, pro to the president. And his key points when he was running for office himself said that there should be elements or runners or candidates that don't come from the government or don't come from people that are already in power. They want to see people from the masses. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, I think it's a great point, Edvin. President Trump does want, well, first of all, he was an outsider. Okay, he was outside the political mainstream. I believe he was the first president that wasn't a congressman or a U.S. senator or governor before. And I think people for a really long time were upset with just constant political talk and politicians and people in suits going up to Congress and giving flowery speeches and using nice vocabulary, but not getting anything done for the American people. And so people were tired and they wanted something different. And President Trump was totally different and he was totally unique. And he was espousing, right? He doesn't speak, thank God, like a lawyer or like a politician. He says a lot of what's on his mind, of what most people are thinking. And he's very genuine. And when he speaks, and people like genuineness. Whether people agree with what you're saying or don't agree, people want real people. People want honest people. And he is really, I believe, really true and really genuine to who he is and what he wants to accomplish for the American people. And that's why I think he ignited a lot of passion and fire and support. And, you know, say what you want. The media tries to beat him up every day, Edvin. He won every swing state and he won the popular vote in America this last cycle. So you can't say that the people are not with him as much as the media tries to manipulate us, right? So President Trump is an outsider, but I'm an outsider too. I don't come from the elite establishment political class like some of my opponents do. And what they do is they just want to hand power from themselves to their children. And we're not going to stand for that. It's reprehensible. It's un-American, and that's not who you want in power. People want to run off a name ID. People want to run off name recognition, and people want to leave an area and leave a district so they can run for themselves and push themselves up for power. So you know what that tells me? That they want power more than they care about representing the people. So I'm an outsider. I'm a grassroots person. I come from humble beginnings. I come from a blue collar background. I come from this community. I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck, dollar to dollar. I know what it's like to live in a lower middle class family. I know what it's like to live south of 16 Mile. In this county, these are the areas that need the most help, right? Warren, Sterling Heights, East Point, et cetera. So people struggle to make ends meet, but you want a congressman that comes from your background that understands your struggle. And President Trump wants people like us. President Trump wants people that are honest, that are loyal, that want to support him, that want to be an ally of him, that want to push America first. He's not, this is no longer Jeb Bush's party, Edvin. This is no longer Mitt Romney's party. This is no longer George Bush's party. That was the old Republican mold. And these people used to hang out in country clubs and cigar rooms and be friends with each other. And the reason why they don't like President Trump is he's not part of that elite circle. Yes, he's a billionaire and he's done well, and he's an executive. And that's actually, I believe you want an executive. It's good to have that executive mindset in the White House. But he was never part of that good old boys club, and he broke it up. And I'm glad he did, because him pushing the MAGA grassroots and the America First agenda allows someone like me that doesn't come from a political family to rise up and get support from the grassroots and push forward. And that's why I think I've received a lot of support. Is number one, they know I'm supportive of this president. And number two, they know I come from a blue collar background. And I just want to make one more point, Edvin, because I think it's important, is, the people obviously that struggle the most in this country are the people that live in this area. All right. I mean, this is Roseville. This is Sterling Heights. This is Warren. This is East Point. This is a very, very hardworking district. And people in this district don't wear suits. They wear work boots. And they go out there and they get dirt under their fingernails to bring food back home on the table. And President Trump is the only politician that really spoke to them. And the media doesn't get this. This is like flyover country for them, Edvin. The Midwest is flyover country for them. They want to hang out in California. They want to hang out in New York, but they forget about middle America. And President Trump spoke directly to these people. And when he talks about saving their jobs, and when he talks about putting America first with trade deals, it really resonates with people. And this is why he actually got a lot of support. And so, the same people that are my donors are the same people that are President Trump supporters. Small business owners, a lot of auto workers. We have a lot of auto worker support. And when you fight for these people and you defend these people, they want you to be with them. And so no more people in cheap suits that fold over in this country. We want fighters.
It's a plus that you're not part of the establishment, number one. How has the Albanian community have been supporting you?
Yeah, so we're fighting the establishment every single day that we run for office. So it's like it's two lanes here. I'm fighting political elitists. I mean, I have an opponent running on his father's name, and they have no problem endorsing Jeb Bush. They have no problem endorsing Mitt Romney, but they won't stand shoulder to shoulder with a great president and President Donald J. Trump to move this country forward. And then on the other flank, I'm running against some Democrats that are very far left, that are progressive, that believe in socialistic economic policies. And my family escaped communism. My family escaped socialism. And obviously, I don't come from a politically connected or elite establishment family. And so President Trump, I hope he watches this podcast, that realizes that I'm going to have his back every single day. And I'm going to have, more importantly, the blue-collar workers in this district. Now, the Albanian people make up that population. We're some of the hardest working people in this country. A lot of Albanians are very supportive of President Trump, and they voted for him, especially here in Michigan. And I believe that they played a role in actually carrying him across the finish line. So now you have your own candidate in this area. Most Albanians in Michigan live in the 10th district, Edvin. And we're in the service industry. We work at a lot of the automobile factories. We run some of the best small businesses, factories, restaurants, et cetera, in this community, home services, et cetera. And we make up, I say it all the time, we make up the best fabric of America. Because what do Albanians believe in? Number one, we believe in God. We do. We put God before government. We put God before any man. And we're very faithful people. And then we raise our children that way. And then we believe in family. And we spend holidays with our families. And we spend our religious holidays with our family. And so everything is centered around a mother and father and growing great children. That's what this country needs. We need more of that nuclear family, that nucleus. And everyone that interacts with, if you ever see Albanians are so proud to be Albanian, and we're so proud of our heritage, and we're so proud of our value system, Edvin, but we're also very proud to be Americans. And so without the Albanian community, I would not be as formidable as I am. They've supported me. They come to my events. They're going to vote for us. And they've helped us raise a lot of money, God, thankfully. And so God willing, I'm going to make them proud. I'm never going to turn my back on my community. And I have 100% Albanian American blood flowing through these veins. I'm never going to forget where I come from and who I represent. And I'm very proud to be Albanian because, the reason why I think the way I think and the reason why I act the way I act is because I'm Albanian, is because I lived in a house with my grandparents, is because, people like you and other people in the community teach us about respect and honor and burni. And that's what this country needs. That's called strong moral leadership.
Robert, I see this 8 months before the primaries as a home run trying to score a touchdown. What's in plans for your campaign? What do you need from the community?
Yeah, sure. Everyone's got to pitch in financially. And I don't, I don't like asking people for money because I don't come from wealth, but it's the reality of politics. So usually whoever wins, Edvin, is two things. Whoever has the most work ethic and whoever raises the most money. You combine those together, that's a recipe for winning. And so we need to make sure that we out fundraise every single opponent. And so my message is please visit robertl4congress.com and make a contribution. It's going to a good cause. Doesn't go to me. It goes to us. It goes to our community to do fundraise, to do commercials, to do billboards, to do signage, to build name recognition, right? And we have actually our first commercial out here in Macomb County recently. It's to get people familiarized with our beautiful Albanian American last name, Lulgjuraj. And so we want to build that name ID and we want to build that brand. And then number two is Albanians. They voted for President Trump. A lot of them did. But we need them to come out in this primary. It's an off-year primary. What they call it's called voter apathy, Edvin. So a lot of people sometimes don't vote in the off-presidential year. We need Albanians to make sure to vote, show up to the polls. There's enough Albanians in this district. If they show up on August 4th, 2026, we will win this primary because the other candidates can't compete with the base that we have. We have a strong base. And so sometimes Albanians think, because we grew up in a horrible socialistic, actually worse than a socialistic, we grew up in a communistic environment, that their votes didn't always count, right? That some of them come from corrupt municipalities or corrupt areas. But in America, your vote does count, and we need to overwhelm the polls with people going out. And so if we can just have your viewers vote next year, take their parents, take their children, everyone signs up, it's going to make a really, really big difference. And when we win, we're going to open up a pathway to a lot of our community and children. So,
do we have a number of how many Albanians are registered voters in your district?
Yeah, so
roughly from facts and news that you have.
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure the precise number. We're still trying to pull that data. Some Albanians have a Slavic last name. When they came over, some Albanians have an Italian name. So some of them have migrated to other refugee camps and have had their traditional ethnic Albanian name change when they came to America. And so it's always hard to garner exactly how many Albanians are in the district, but I know for sure that this district has the most Albanians in Michigan. And this is our churches here, our businesses are here, and most of them live in this area. So, there's only about 70 to 80,000 people that vote in these off-year presidential primaries. We get 15, 20, 30,000 Albanians out to vote. That'll end the primary. I mean, we will win, and we will get through, and we will get to Washington, D.C. because of the Albanians.
I seen the previous candidate, John James, that it's running for a gubernatorial race. He had, in the primaries, 51,000 votes.
Okay.
So if we have the Albanian votes for you,
we're in.
And the base, the strong base we have, you're in the ballot in November.
We're in. Yeah, no, we're in for sure, right? If the Albanians vote, and then, and just I'll go over some of my endorsements, right? I mentioned the Chamber of Commerce endorsed me, the Auto Workers for Trump, nearly all the Republican state representatives. I mean, those are big for state representatives to come out and endorse you for a congressional campaign. Nearly all the Republican county commissioners. And then, my favorite people are what we call the grassroots Republicans. They're not in elected office, but they're the engine, they're the catalyst to the party. And I love these people, and I'm with them 1,000%. And they know that nobody's going to have their back like I am. And they know that I'm going to support the president because they tell me, we want you to support the president. And I do. I support his agenda 100% because he is making positive changes, particularly for this district. So, I'm not ashamed to say who I am. I'm not ashamed to say where I come from. I'm not ashamed to talk about my values. I'm so proud that my parents raised me the way they did. I'm so proud that I grew up in an Albanian American household because it made me conservative and it made me strong and it gave me will and it gave me a moral compass. And that's why I became a prosecutor too. I always got up in a courtroom and stood for the truth and argued for the truth. And so we bring these groups together. We get law enforcement, we get attorneys, we get the Albanian community, we get some of these Republican politicians in Macomb County that have endorsed us, and we get the good old grassroots together, the engine of this country and the engine of the party. I don't see anyone beating us. And then you combine that, I think, with my work ethic and then our ability to fundraise money, Edvin, we're going to beat anyone that stands in our way. And really, like Kard Koha, we have to get an Albanian American in Congress.
Young people should gather around your group. They should be support, like you supported previous candidates working for free after law school. That's how they should give you back, because opening the door for them, it would be opening the door for you. You being a role model for them, it would be a very great thing.
Agreed.
What's your message to the community?
Yeah, my message to the community is I love them, and I come from this community, and I'm going to have their back every single day in the halls of Congress, and I'm never going to let the community down. And if it wasn't for the community, I wouldn't be sitting in this position. And sometimes writing a check is great. It's the most important thing, but right beside it is voting. And so don't just do one or the other, right? Try to do both. Try to donate to us, and then don't forget to go out and vote and talk to your neighbors. Albanians are very well respected in this community. I mean, we are, who has work ethic like us, Edvin? Right? Who has heart like us? Who has respect like us and honor, right? And it comes from our lineage. It comes from the background that we come from. I mean, you look on the face of the earth, we have some of the best history out of anyone in mankind. And so people are very endeared and people love Albanians in this community. And every restaurant you go into, every person that does almost nearly all the construction, every painter, a lot of factories, you will find Albanians as at the top tier of all these industries. And it's a credit, I think, of like who we are and where we come from. And so my message to them is I want you to prosper. All right. I want your family to prosper. I want your children to prosper. I want, we're always going to put God and family and country first. And we have, Albanians, one thing about us, right? I see the BSA book behind us is we're very loyal people, and we're good-hearted people, and we're very loyal to our friends, and we open our door to anyone, and we protect them with our life. And that's what I want the American voters to understand too, is, I come from that lineage, and so I am so thankful to this country. I'm so grateful to this country. It changed my whole life. Look how me and you are sitting in this podcast studio, and I'm the leading Republican candidate for Congress. We're knocking at the door of U.S. Congress, and that's the highest. Congress and Senate is the highest legislative office in the entire country. And really, America is the most powerful country in the world. And to think just one generation ago, my dad came here when he was 4. 2 generations ago, my grandparents were in Malsi and Shipni just struggling to make ends meet, and now their grandson gets to run for Congress. That's unbelievable. That's only possible in America. That's the American dream.
That's the true American dream.
It's wild, right? Their grandson becomes a prosecutor, goes to law school here. I mean, this is storybook stuff. This is movie stuff, and it only happens in America, and it just shows you that you can do anything. You can create a political movement in America, like President Trump did, right? We can create our own political movement here in Macomb to elevate one of our own children. And so, yeah, so my message to them is I love them. I love this country. I love people that work hard. And I don't care about anyone else but the people in this district. And I'm going to represent them with loyalty and dignity and honor every single day. And, everyone's got, all my family and friends and my neighbors have my cell phone number. I grew up in this district. You knock on my door or you answer or you call my phone, I'm going to answer to you. And I'm going to put forward whatever's best for this district and whatever is best for the people. So,
Robert, we do thank you very much.
Thank you, Edvin.
Speakeasy will be always one call away.
Thank you, Edvin.
To make your point. And we call on our viewers to not forget, register to vote. And please don't forget to vote on the primaries. Vote is not a privilege, it's a responsibility. And vote for Robert Lulgjuraj.
It's going to be a Republican seat. The current congressman now is a Republican who's done a great job in the seat, is now leaving to run for governor. And so when they go to the voting booth, they have to, on August, they're going to ask, do you want a Republican ballot or do you want a Democrat ballot? You have to ask for the Republican ballot so you can go down there and vote for Circle Robert Lulgjuraj. And when I win, we win. And it really, Edvin, people run for office because sometimes, we're human, and having humility, we're obviously not perfect beings, and having humility is a virtue, and it's hard sometimes, but I'm really not doing this for myself. I wake up every day and I don't even think about myself. I think about others. I think about people that have donated to me. I think about people that are relying on me. I think about my own Albanian American community. I think about all the grassroots Republicans that I've interacted with. These people hug me. These people shake my hand. These people put signs up for me. These individuals go above and beyond to share my stuff on social media, to support me. And I don't want to let them down. And we're gonna give them good representation. We're gonna give them good leadership, and Albanians, like we just talked about with your last question. So many people appreciate Albanians and have a great relationship. Our neighbors, our coworkers, Albanians have the power to spread the message to them because there's a lot of people that live in a congressional seat, right? Over 750,000 people live in these areas. It's nearly impossible for me to knock on every door and to meet every voter. But you can touch 5, 10, 15, 20 people. You can wake up on August 4th and put people in your car and drive them to the polls for us. And if we do that type of level of coordination, anything is possible. If there's a 33-year-old socialist mayor of New York, becomes mayor of one of the greatest cities in the world, why can't we in this district here that have conservative values, that love this country, that's loyal to this country, that wants to fight socialism and communism, why can't we make it? We can if we put ourselves, together and push forward, Edvin.
Ky ishte pra kandidati Robert Lulgjuraj, your candidate for the 10th Congressional District. Do not forget, support. The support starts from supporting our own. Ky është Speakeasy podcast. Thank you, Robert.
God bless you, Edvin, and God bless your podcast, and thank you very much.
Thank you.